Hi, welcome to spiritpioneers.com.
I'm glad to hear from everyone today. This is Janet Reynolds. I am your host for the radio program spiritpioneer.com called Insight. And I have here with us my co-host, which is Dee Lovejoy.
Lovejoy, that's right.
Yes.
Lovejoy. Love it.
Yes, I love it. It's so good. I'm so glad to be here today. I am, once more, Janet Reynolds. I am your spirit medium. Uh, I also have my God, Blue Feather, with me, and he needs to really hurry up and be here so he can calm me down.
I know this first show is kind of nerve-wracking,
It
huh?
is. It is. I'm really glad to be here, though. Dee Dee, how about you? Are you glad to be here?
I'm so excited, and I'm nervous as well.
Oh, good. She doesn't look nervous. Trust me. She just looks like she's got it all together here.
Well, we're fabulous.
Oh, I know. Well, I am your host today, and Dee Dee and I would like to talk to you about Insight. That is the name of our program here. And the word insight has 3-4 different meanings to it. So I would like to give you one, and that would be perceptiveness, the ability to see clearly and intuitively into the nature of a complex person, situation, or subject. And that is what I do as a medium. I look into the nature of a problem. Now, Dee, tell us another one.
Another one is clear perception, and which goes along with clairvoyance, which means clear seeing. And all the clairs mean, that's what the clair is, means clear. So clear perception is something, the clear perception of something. And that's what insight, another definition of insight is.
And that is one of the things that I am considered. I am considered clairvoyant. Now, for our next definition of insight would be self-awareness, the ability of somebody to understand and find solutions to his or her personal problems. And that is one thing that we do also. Dee helps me with that too. So now, what is our next one?
Perceptions that hallucinations are not real. Well, I don't know how well that goes in our business, Janet.
Sometimes I think hallucinations would be nice.
Sometimes people ask us, how do they know what they're seeing is real, and it's all about perception, isn't it?
It's all in how we see it.
Yeah.
And I could see it one way and Dee could see it another.
That's right.
So that's what makes it unique. But I would like for Dee to start off this afternoon by telling us the name of her business and what she is about.
Okay. Dee Lovejoy. I have a business called Quintessence Aromatherapy and Crystal Healing. It's in Carrollwood, the part of Tampa, North Tampa. And quintessence means the fifth element. As an aromatherapist, I was trying to find a name that meant something to me. And just doing research, thousands of years ago, the alchemists were trying to find the elixir of life that made them immortal. And they came across a lot of different essential oils from plants and trees and shrubs and things like that. And they found the medicinal benefits of those essential oils, and they named it quintessence, the fifth element. So as an aromatherapy therapist and healer, I thought it was an appropriate name for my business. Some of the things that I do are, everything I do is for mind, body, and spirit. So there's the therapeutic side that if you have aches and pains and chronic illness or some type of disease or condition, I can help you treat that. And what I do is really help your body heal itself in a natural, holistic way. On the metaphysical side, I help with emotional, spiritual kinds of things. I do spiritual counseling, and a lot of those a lot of things can be solved through talk therapy, and also am a Reiki master. So with the combination of the things that God gave us, Janet, with the ability to channel source and universal light energy to help people heal themselves is what I do. And then I use other tools and techniques, lots of different tools and techniques. And we'll be talking about some of those things on our show.
And with some of your techniques, couldn't you say that you have insight to how to do it or go by your feelings?
Absolutely.
And what you're doing to help heal people. So
That's right.
insight is important, and going by your feelings is most important. And all of us are intuitive in our own way. And it's important that we recognize that fact that we are intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
We go by our gut feelings, and a lot of times we might not listen to our gut feelings, but we do go by it. So the one thing that I would like to tell everyone before we really get going here, and I don't want to forget, you can call in and ask a question. This show is about us as spirit pioneers, and that's one thing that I really feel both Dee and I are. We are pioneer women. We really are. And our words are very valuable, and we want to help many because of our many experiences. Because we are pioneers, we can, I'm sure, tell some good stories. So if anyone has a question, please feel free to call, and the phone number is 727-597-4522. Okay.
All right, Janet, why don't you tell us about yourself? And I know people are curious to hear more about Blue Feather.
Yes, can do that. When it comes to talking about Blue Feather, I can find that easy. But I have been doing spiritual studying, let me say it that way, for 30 years. When I first moved down here to Tampa, I went to see a spirit medium for a reading, and that was Beverly Field, and God love her. She turned into being my mentor. She told me that this was something that I should consider doing, being that I had such deep faith. And that is true. I do have a lot of deep faith. I really do. And I started studying, never thinking that I would be a psychic. And then now being a spirit medium. And Blue Feather has been in the picture and came into the picture about 2, maybe 3 years after that. And he is my guide. He is my gatekeeper, as I call him. And he is the one that when I am doing my work and I am doing readings, he is the one that gives me the words. He gives me the symbols, and I get my feelings, and he helps me with my feelings. So I have studied in many different sections or places in the world. I really have.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my work. I really do.
And I can vouch for that. Janet is a very gifted psychic medium, and she has a lot of loyal clients, and she's very good at what she does. I've watched her channel Blue Feather, and her voice changes, her stature changes, her whole demeanor changes, and it's just amazing to watch.
The one thing that I can say about how I really found out about Blue Feather is through Sandy, one of the girls that I studied with. She came in and she let me know that Blue Feather was my spirit guide, and she informed me that he's been around me for quite a while. She let me know that he was my father in a past life and that he protects me. And I have to tell you a sort of a funny story.
Okay.
Okay.
Janet always has funny stories. You guys will learn that.
Yes, sometimes I have a good sense of humor. One of the places that I studied was Camp Chesterfield, which is in Chesterfield, Indiana. And we did a seance up there. And Blue Feather, of course, came through. So he says to everyone, but mainly to me, you have had many challenges in your life. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about what he says. And I'm saying, well, who doesn't have many challenges in their life? And then he says to me, but then you've been quite a challenge. so I had to think about that after that, because I sat and thought about some of the things that I used to do, and I'm sure he has a few gray hairs trying to keep up
Oh
with
my
me.
goodness. Hey, Janet, since this show is about insights, and we may have some new listeners um, that want to learn about this type of metaphysical or spiritual work that you do. What does a spirit guide do? I mean, what's the purpose of a spirit guide? How do you learn about them? And
Well, we have a few spirit guides. But the main thing, or the two things that are most important, is that one of them happens to be an Indian, and the other one, as I have been taught that I like to really tune in to tell people about, is your joy guide. But then we also have master teachers. So we have guides to protect us or to help us through situations.
okay, does
Okay.
everybody have guides?
Everybody, as I have been taught, have guides.
Okay.
Yes, even you.
I know I have guides, but today we're helping people out there. So I'm asking questions they may want to ask.
Yes. But yes, everyone has guides. And the way that we find out who they are or what their names are is through meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation is very important. So in the process of meditating, you can ask your guide what their name is.
Okay. And what about dreams? Can
Oh.
you find out who your spirit guide is through dreams?
I would think you could.
Okay.
I would say yes to that.
And I know you do dream classes too, and you're big on interpreting and help people interpreting their dreams. So
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be talking about those.
Dreams are fun.
Yeah.
Dreams are fun.
Yeah. I had an interesting dream last night too.
Well, please tell me.
The parts that I can remember, I was traveling again, driving. Just remember that, and I remember some family members. I don't think I wanted them in the car, Janet. What does that mean? I wanted them to just open the door and politely get out and close it behind them, and I just wanted to go.
All right. That was good. That's good, because the one thing, when we have other people in our dreams,
Mm-hmm.
it is a characteristic of ourselves.
Oh.
That's what that's about, though.
So are you saying that there's some parts of me that I wanted gone out of the car or out of my life, perhaps?
Well, there might be a side of you, yes, that you don't want anymore. There might be
Okay.
something that you think about yourself that you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that being the case, then you're trying to let go of that.
Okay.
Okay. But always in control. So that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, really.
Okay. I'm glad someone wasn't trying to put me out of the car then.
No,
I wasn't trying to put myself out of the car.
No, you were in total control.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
was all good. Now, talk to me a little bit about you and your life before you started doing all this spiritual.
Okay. My life before this, it's kind of still going on. I'm doing them in conjunction, but the insightful or intuitive side has the biggest priority in my life now. I've been a military person, a military sailor for most of my adult life, for 26 years. And if anybody out there has been in the military or has a loved one that's been in the military, you know that it's full of rules and it's this way and that's the only way it is, and you follow orders. You don't ask a whole lot of questions. You just follow orders and you do what's expected of you, and it's very regimented, and that's just the way it is. So I lived that life for such a long time. I married a service member, but I believe that my first belief of the other than what I was taught in church as a child came when my daughter was born 21 years ago. She was born premature, and I was alone in Hawaii while my husband was out at sea. He was in Panama, and I had I was going to a non-denominational church at the time, and the minister's name was Kaha Julia. She was a Reiki master, and had no idea what Reiki was or hadn't even heard of the word, but I was just drawn to this woman. She was beautiful. And Jasmine was born, and Kaha Julia was at the hospital every single day doing Reiki on Jasmine. Jasmine was 1 pound.
Oh.
And yeah, she was very sick, and we didn't know if she was going to make it. And Kaha Julia was my angel on earth. At that time, she was just such a blessing to me, and I would see what she was doing just over Jasmine's, incubator, and she would say, "What are you doing?" She says, "I'm doing Reiki," and she told me what it was, and I just, and then she would tell me things. As we stayed there until Jasmine was 2.5, so she was in Jasmine's life for 2.5 years, basically, and she healed that little girl.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
she healed me. And she, gave me lots of insights on what to expect, that I had no idea. I was so young then. And she would just say, the doctors are going to tell you these things. Use your own intuition. They're going to tell you these things like that. But as a mom, what you should do. And then she introduced me to aromatherapy back then, and gave me some things to some tips and techniques, and she would rub Jasmine with lavender and help her relax and things like that. I never forgot those things. Even through my whole military career, I never forgot them. And here I am, 20 years later, I've really developed the intuition that she said I had, and became a Reiki master myself, using aromatherapy as a full-time for full-time medicinal purposes, and also for relaxation and enjoyment. I've incorporated those things in my life, and I've just grown so much, and I have her to thank for it. She's still in my life now. She talks to me on Facebook and Twitter, and she's just a doll, and I love her.
See, she's healed you and she's helped you.
She really has.
She really did. Now, Did you bring any of the aromatherapy for us to be calm and with you this morning or this afternoon?
Well, I always put some on myself every day. I did not bring any with me except for on my body, but I'll bring that next Tuesday.
Next time you need to bring that for me. That would help. So
okay.
I'm getting there though, slow but sure. But it's really interesting how people come into our lives and how they help us to be who we are. There's a lot of times when my aunt raised me, and my grandmother was something else. She was the Indian of the family, and she was Cherokee. And that has a lot to do with where I am now also, because my grandmother was born with what they call the veil over her face. That's an extra layer of skin, which made her very clairvoyant. But that wasn't really anything that she talked about. But we always talked about spirits or ghosts or anything to do within the spirit world. My grandmother was right there talking about it. And the one thing that she did teach me is that our soul roams for 3 days after death. And I really find that to be true, because there's a lot of times when people get visits from spirit
right
after they pass over, or every now and then, sometimes before they pass over, because my aunt, before she passed over, came and visited my house and knew I had gotten a new car. So her daughter, my cousin, called and said, "Mother said you got a new car. Did you tell us?" I said, no, she must have saw it.
She must have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, she must have seen it. So, it's really good what people can teach us and how much of an influence that they can be on us. I sometimes say if it wasn't for my aunt, I couldn't be who I am,
Absolutely.
and or my
Yeah.
grandmother. They
Mhm.
both had a very strong influence on me as growing up. Sometimes she even talks to me now, even though she's over on the other side.
That's
She does make herself known to me
mhm.
every now and
Mhm.
then. And it's really, I think it's amazing how we can feel them and see them.
It's something we're talking about spirit guides, and I just want to note that your spirit guide could be an ancestor that you didn't even know. And one of my spirit guides is my grandmother,
Mhm.
who on my father's side, who I didn't know very well. I remember seeing her when I was a very little girl, maybe 5. She passed away when I was about 5. But she makes herself known. Um, Janet, I think the last time when I was with you, when you were doing a gallery reading, and Janet will tell you about those are fun, really, really fun. Um, you said, does anybody know a Rose? And I was in the back. I was helping Janet out that day, and I'm like, "Oh, she didn't come through right now." And you said there was 2 of them, and actually I have an aunt and my grandmother, Rose. I didn't know either of them very well, but they're always here
Mhm.
to help me when I'm doing spiritual work. So spirit guides are very important.
They really are, and they do. Family members do help us, and then the other thing is our master teachers. Sometimes, and I can say Saint Germain.
Yes.
I could say to you, even Jesus, the
Mm-hmm.
Blessed Mother. Those are master teachers who have walked this earth plane for a very long time,
Mm-hmm.
and they do come in and they help us in really very tight
Mm-hmm.
situations. So, and I'm thankful for that because there's a lot of times when I call on what I say or who I call the big man, and I call on him a lot, and I
Who's the
know
big
that
man?
um, he's called God by many,
Mm-hmm.
or give me some other. He's the master
Source,
source. Yes. So
Gaia.
yes,
It's just.
Buddha. Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one I go right to the top when I'm having serious problems. And if you could just see me walk through my house talking to him, it's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I talk to him quite a bit. I know that they all help us. They really do.
That's right.
So, okay.
I know one of the things I wanted to bring up today. I wanted to talk about the difference between religion and spirituality. I think that's a really good topic um, to bring up, and using insight to help um, to show the difference and also the similarities between the two.
Well, that's a good topic. I will say that. I will say one thing about spirituality or about a church, not necessarily a religion. You do not have to go to a church to pray. You can always pray wherever you are.
You can,
And
and I do.
yes. And I was raised a very strict Catholic, and we had to go to church. We had to go on Sundays. We had to go all the time. We couldn't eat meat on Friday. And I have learned through spirituality that that's not the case.
Yes.
And if we go one step further, I don't believe there's a hell. And I don't believe that we go through this world and do what we do, and then that when we die, we go to hell. I've never believed that. I never believed it as a child. I got into a lot of trouble for that. I really did. And I believe, in a sense, in a way, that hell is here. And,
Mm.
but then see, It's all in how we see it.
Yeah, that's the perception.
Yes, it's all
Yeah.
in how you perceive it. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you can keep a calm mind, it helps. It helps.
I think I don't like the word hell at all.
I don't like it either.
I think, and they make it sound, what it represents is such a negative vibration. Even saying the word, it vibrates so negatively. I believe that we go through lifetimes of learning and to help our soul ascend.
I agree with you
different
on
things.
that. I really
Yeah.
do, Dee.
So if the lifetime that you live in is not the best one, I guess it could be hell.
It could, it can, and that is a strong word, but
Yeah.
I just don't believe that when we leave this earth plane that we're going to go somewhere where we're all going to burn. I don't.
Yeah, that's it's I think that's one of the problems I had with religion as a child. Just living in fear, constant fear of not being good enough, not being perfect, and the fear of a failure and paying for my shortcomings with fire. It's kind of a horrible thing when you're 7 years old.
Yes,
and you
it
took that
is.
extra donut. It's very fearful, and I think my first year in college is when I started to question, the rules of religion, because I was away from home and I didn't have to, and that's another one of those words. When you put HAVE or HAD in front of something, it's very negative when you have to do something. This is work that Janet and I love, and we enjoy doing it. So there's no have with it. But when you have to go to church, it feels like there's this obligation and this terrible responsibility and burden. But when I had to go to church and things like that, when I began to question things that I was taught, when I got to the college and I had the freedom to explore on my own, is when I started to really open up and learn that there's something else besides what I was taught, and is what I taught the absolute? And my answer was no. What I was taught was not the absolute, and that I just couldn't believe that a God, being the God that my parents said he was, would exclude all of the different races and beliefs and religions, and that the thing that I was taught was the only way. I didn't believe that was love.
No, and I agree with you on that. There's a lot of times when I was young that I just knew things.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew things. And the one thing that I felt, and I was very strong about in a lot of ways, was that no, there can't be a hell. No matter what, even as young as I was, I just knew that could not be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel that, I don't feel that we have to believe that. We don't have to believe that. I know that. But let me just say this is, there's just been a lot of times and a lot of situations in my life. And you're right in what you say, because you think you're going to go and you're going to burn.
Yes, when you're 7.
Yes.
And now people as adults still.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's things that I did when I was young that, you really don't know any better.
That's right.
You really don't. I have learned that you have to experience, that you can't, you just have to experience. You can't make judgments.
That's right.
And the one thing is, we don't make wrong decisions. I learned that in the past, let's say 20 years, that we do exactly what we're supposed to do.
Yes,
we do not make wrong decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly can tell you from my heart, I wish I had known that when I was 28 years old. When I think back.
What would you have done differently?
Oh, there's just a couple things in my life that I would change. I really,
Okay.
really would. But
But you just said that you don't make wrong decisions.
I understand that we don't. It's all through experience. That's
Uh-huh.
how we learn. So I hope I'm saying it correctly for you, because we don't. We do exactly what we are supposed to. So then let's say that we did something and it wasn't quite correct at that time, even though we don't make wrong decisions, we keep doing it. We keep doing it
Until we learn the lesson.
until we learn the lesson.
Until we go, okay, I keep doing this and I'm getting the same outcome and I'm expecting something different. I need to change something. I need to change what I'm doing to get a different outcome.
That's true. And I really, really feel that if you don't.
I wonder what happened at 28 to Janet. I want to hear about this.
It was good. It really was. But that's true. No, we don't make wrong decisions. We do exactly what we're supposed to. So if you're doing something at the present and it's not working the way that you choose for it to work or you would like for it to work, it will happen. You just need to experience certain things before it does get to where it is going to happen.
And that's how the soul evolves, right?
That's exactly what I feel.
And I know it's another topic about being reborn and reincarnated, and when the soul returns, and if you don't learn the lesson, you come back to repeat those same things until you learn it. So let's all learn what we need to know now. I think with using your intuition and what we want to offer on this show is some insights to make your life easier. Sometimes acknowledging, and then you can stop it. Then you've learned your lesson then, and then you can stop it and
To say to him, no, it's not the devil.
okay.
So please don't say that. I said to him, now think about your ego. I said, ego really wants us to think that we tears our self-esteem down.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to tell ego to get out of the picture,
Mm-hmm.
or as some people could call it, the devil. Get the devil out of there. And don't, I couldn't believe he was telling me that, but God love his heart, that's how he felt. There's a lot of people who do sometimes feel that the devil is the one that's there because, see, once more, that's how we were raised.
That's how we were raised.
Yes.
Yeah. And we kind of pull off of what we know.
Yes. So I know that there's a lot of us out there that really have a lot of situations that we need answers to. And hopefully, if you have a question, you could call us once more at 727-597-4522, and we could give you an answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
And now we need to think of something else.
You guys want to take a break for a minute?
Yeah, we'll take a
That would be
break.
good.
You seem so excited about it. Yeah, we'll take a break. Need some drink and water and grape drink.
What do you do during the break? You
We're-
play music or something?
Yeah, we're gonna play. We're gonna play with a fish like Simply Abigail.
Oh,
5, 4, 3,
wow.
2, 1.
hold my hand and keep your grip, because when we start to slip, I will let go, because I fear the worst is coming. I hope we squeeze too tight, because maybe then we might end up hurting ourselves while we are together. So my hands are numb, the pain, and we're apart. All we have to do is dive, and we can see our lives flashing right before our eyes. And the birds in all the sky catch a star or two and wish, or our souls will swim like fish from our jumping off the bridge. All the silly things we did, there are butterflies inside. Maybe they will help me fly to escape my sure demise as we're falling through the sky. Keep your grip, because we're going on a trip. Could be to death, but let's hope not. Our prayers are all we've got. Just hold my hand and don't forget to hold it till we start to sweat each other's fear of all the danger that we're in. Don't forget, hold it till we start to sweat each other's fear of all the danger that we're in.
One. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
What I'd like to tell y'all is that we do have some show sponsors that keep us on the air. And what I would like to do is read to you who they are. To start with, one of them is YouGotBenefits.com, Laughing Sober.
I'm sorry, LaughingSombreros.com. Sorry. I spelled it wrong. I spelled it wrong. I was writing too fast. LaughingSombreros.com. Sorry.
LaughingSombreros.com, CruiseBrothers.biz, Bitterfly.com, and then the other one that we have here is AllSays.
AllSays.com. Yeah. AllSays of New York. It's a fashion
York.
Designer company that is going to come to Tampa. So
there you go.
actually, yeah, it might be beneficial to some people.
Well, I hope.
Fashion shows, anyway.
Okay, and they are who keep us on the air.
We thank those sponsors.
Yes, we do. Now, the one thing that Dee and I both like and we do is affirmations. And Dee has a news paper, a news weekly is what you call it, right?
It's a monthly newsletter, and I send it out to clients or anyone who wants to sign up for the newsletter. And it has offers, deals, and freebies, but it also has tips and techniques and affirmations. I'm really, really big on. Janet and I both on our Facebook page. If you like us on our Facebook pages, you can get the daily affirmations from us. And I put some in the monthly newsletter, and there are 5 affirmations in this time.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see, the first one for people that are interested in want to draw money to them, for money and prosperity. The affirmation is, I live in a loving, abundant, harmonious universe, and I am grateful.
I have one, if I might, that would go along with that. And that is, money is pouring in.
Money is pouring in. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And to talk about that, being grateful is so important.
I agree.
Being thankful and saying, affirming that you're thankful for the things that you have. When you put that out to the universe, that's what you get back in abundance.
That is one thing that I do every morning when I go out on my patio and drink my cup of coffee to wake up, is I thank universe.
That's right.
For everything that I have, for what I don't have, and for what I'm about to receive.
That's right. Very, very important. And I love this. So you can, just before you go to bed, if you journal, or don't take the worries of the day to bed with you. Instead, write in gratitude on what you're thankful for, the things that you may have taken for granted during the day. Write those down, and expect abundance, and for those things that you wrote down today to be multiplied and come back to you the next day and beyond.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Got another one?
Yeah. For health and healing, we can say, okay, so my glasses are not here. I radiate vibrant health.
Okay.
So
All right.
Janet and I, especially Janet, I don't know if you guys know that Janet's a kickboxer. She punches the bag and kicks things around.
I do. I love it. I really do. But it helps to get rid of frustration and aggravation. And I have a trainer that comes once a week, and I love him. He's been my trainer for 9 years, and he lets me box. He knows when I'm...
He lets you box.
Yeah, he does. He puts those mitts on, and I get my gloves on, and we beat the mitt.
Okay.
But I have an affirmation that I feel is good also, and that is, I am surrounded in white light, love, and protection. And I believe that with all my heart. When I was given affirmations many years ago, I was taught to write them.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you write them, you've got them really well memorized.
Yes.
And I do have that one memorized because I do feel I am in white light, love, and protection.
It's like writing spelling words when you were a kid. You know how you had to write the spelling words over and over, and it helped you learn to spell the word. So it's the same thing with the affirmations when you were writing it over and over and over.
Yes, the intent is there. For me, it's always good to write something.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I remember better.
I agree.
So when I leave the show today, I'm going to go home and write the whole day for the next show.
That's right. That's right. So we'll be fully prepared with all of our affirmations.
Oh, we'll be better. We're going to be better.
And thank you, everybody. So for self-love, which is extremely important, I am always the perfect age for where I am in life.
Now, there you are. Oh, and that's true.
Yes.
And we need to really look at that one.
Yes, we do.
Especially when we get older. We have to make sure that we're at the perfect age.
I think people fear growing old.
Oh, tell me about it.
There's a difference between getting a year older and aging.
Yes.
And you can't stay. I know we want to stay 21. You know what? I never want to be 21 again. I didn't know a thing when I was 21. Did you?
No. That's why 28 was so important.
We have to hear this story about 28. So callers, you have to call in and ask Janet what happened when she was 28.
I don't think I better put it on the air. But it was a lot of fun. It really was. And I would like to give you one more affirmation. I really would. It's Holy Spirit, let me know in the way that I must go.
Yes. Lead
me now in joy and peace till my ego striving cease. So important to put ego on the back burner. So important.
It really is. Ego gets in the way. Ego is fear-based.
Yes,
and
it
will
is.
stop us from our growth, stop us from growing, stop us from trying, won't it?
It will. It
Hmm.
will. And fear, that's what stops people. Fear. So we don't want fear.
And also arrogance.
Uh,
Ego can be the arrogance saying that we know everything already.
yes. How about obnoxious? Is that a
I don't
good
know
one?
that person. Or
Can that be part of ego?
yes.
I think so.
Actually, I know some of those,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, I send love and light to those who have that.
We do have
We
to do
just
that.
do.
That's
Yeah,
important. That's another word too, is forgiveness.
absolutely.
You really need to forgive people. You put them in pink bubble of love,
Yes.
and you send them forgiveness and tell them that you love them, and then that can really help you a lot. So now, do you have any upcoming events, or would you like to tell everybody how they can get a hold of you?
I would like to do both.
Oh, there you go.
I do have some upcoming events, and there's a page missing.
Oh.
Why don't you do yours, Janet, while I get all my pages together?
I'm almost perfect. Almost. Not quite. So, this is what I'd like to tell you all that I'm doing, please. Well, to start with, you can go out on www.bluefeather.net, and that's my webpage. And I know we don't have to say www, but I like to be right. And then one of the upcoming events is I'm going to be at a psychic fair at Celestial Circle, which is in Palm Harbor. And the phone number is 727-785-1960 if anybody would like a reading. And that's on Saturday, September the 8th from 11 to 5. I will be there, and there will be a few other mediums and psychics there to give readings. Now, did you think
Yes,
about
I do.
one?
Yes. Every third Thursday of the month, I hold a Reiki share at Quintessence Studio. The Reiki share is open to anyone who like a healing, if they're interested in Reiki or curious about it. You don't have to be a practitioner to come, and it's an exchange of energy and healing and information. And September 20th is the Reiki share this month. It's free. And also this month, every Thursday, I hold a meditation. And there's different subjects that we meditate on. That's also free, and it's held at the at the Quintessence Studio. And the studio is on the corner of Limeball and Del Mabry. It's 10014 North Del Mabry, and in Tampa. There's also for people that are Reiki 1, proficient in Reiki 1, and want to move on to the level 2, I'm holding a class or workshop for Reiki 2 practitioners who want to get certified in that. And the cost of that is, I believe it's $90. On my website is aromatherapy-crystalhealing.com, aromatherapy-crystalhealing.com, and just go to the events page, and all the things that I'm doing this month and the rest of the year are on the website on the events page.
Okay, and on my website, which was or is bluefeather.net, I also have a calendar of events, and the calendar events has everything that I'm doing day to day. One thing that's very important that's coming up that I'd like to let y'all know is that I will be channeling Blue Feather, and that's going to be on Wednesday, September the 26th at 6 p.m., and the cost is $25 if you register ahead of time, and it would be $30 at the door. But it's being held in Treasure Island, and it's being held at Benjamin Studio. And that's at 201 4th Avenue. And Joe and Karen run the shop, and Benjamin Studio is very unique. but you can call Joe at 727-954-3444, and that is one of the shops that I do work at on Saturdays at least twice a month, and I really enjoy being there.
One of the places that Janet and I both work at together, and how we met each other and we've become really good friends, is at Mystical Sense. On Thursdays, we're there every Thursday, and Janet is the reader there, and you don't need an appointment. You can walk in to get a reading from her, and I'm the healer there. You can come in, and you don't need an appointment to see me either. I'm doing Reiki healing, crystal healing, and I also have a biomat. For those who are not familiar with it, it has amethyst crystals, and it produces far infrared heat and negative ions that help the body heal, and you get all kinds of therapeutic benefits from it. So Thursdays at Mystical Sense, and the address is 9594 East Fowler. It's in Thonotosassa.
Yes, it is. And I'm there Thursdays from 12 to 6.
And I'm there from 1 to 5.
Good place to be.
Okay.
A good place to be. Now, I don't
You have
have,
5.
I don't have any more events. I don't
Okay.
think. Do you?
That's it for the events.
That's
yes.
it for the events.
Mhm.
Okay. I will say this though, in my networking group, we are going to be doing a cruise, and that will be the month of. I'm sure it's March. I can't find my second page. I think Dee took it, and I had that information out there on there, but it's just something that.
But that's okay, Janet. I can get the website up for you right now.
But I was just going to say, if you go out to my webpage, I don't think I have it out there. I have it in I send out emails every month, and I have it in my constant contact
No,
email.
it's on your newsletter, I believe.
Yes, the newsletter that I send out, it's on, but it's not on my webpage. So I will give you this information in 1 second. What did we do before computers?
Okay. Upcoming events. There you go.
Yes. Oh, I'm doing a gallery presentation also at Celestial Circle, and that's Sunday, September 30th from 5 to 7:30, and that is $30. And then to tell you about the cruise real quick, it is in March, and then we also have a Fairy and Earth Day, and that's in November. So I'll tell you more about that later. We are getting ready to leave, everyone, and I just want to say thank you very much. It's only taken me 40 minutes to calm down, and now I'm really good. So I think we should practice 40 minutes before we get started every day.
Yeah. Jenna, do you want to end our show with a nice prayer so we can to close it?
Well,
To close our show, or
I can say a nice prayer, and then I hope that maybe you can add to it. The one thing is I'm very grateful, so I'm going to say thank you to everyone and everybody, and I just want you to know I'm very grateful. So now, Dee, would you add to that, please?
I'm grateful as well, and I thank you, Source Universe, for such an amazing life, such an amazing opportunity, and for the people that you set before me that are my teachers and the people who I learned from. And one of them is Janet. I'm really grateful for you, Janet.
Oh, see, that goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I just really believe we learn so much from everybody, even when it is an ugly situation. So please join us next Tuesday. At 1:30 to 2:30, and I'm going to be looking forward to hearing from somebody. And thank you very much for everything. I hope you so enjoyed. Thank you, Dee. Thank you.
Thank you too.